Well, good evening, Steelers, and welcome to the live show as ever. I'm assuming that my audio input is working. God, we've got a few in already. Evening, Leslie. Evening, James. Evening, Barnes. Evening, John. Evening, James. Evening, Jonas. Evening, Steve. And evening, Carl. Cracking to everybody already waiting. I don't know why, but there we are. Tonight, I've been working on some Romanians for evening, Louis baby, for Chain of Command. So I've got them all here, 15mm. So I'm going to be working my way through some of those. I'm also working on another 3D printed building as well. This one's one from Patrick Miniatures. You're painting Ratkin for Kings of War, of course, and Italians for Vault Action. Evening, Andy. Good to have you on board. Let me know, everybody, what else you're painting. I'm just going to stick these on first of all. These are this is the flamethrower crew. I'm going to do one for Chain of Command and one for O Group, because I will at some point eventually build my Romanian an O Group Romanian army. I've already got most of it. It probably just needs fleshing out a bit, but at the moment I'm working a little bit on the just on the Chain of Command stuff. I want to do a full platoon of them and get them done. Right now you're working on not swearing at the US Department of Agriculture. Okay, that's interesting. Why are you not swearing at them? Are they worth swearing at? I can well imagine. Riding about in their John Deere tractors. 15mm skeletons, excellent. Do you paint each individual bone? Do they have every single bone in the body on them, modelled on them? So, like I said, I'm doing some of these ones. One of these flamethrowers is going to be for O Group, so I'm just going to mount it with 3 crew on a small Flames of War base, or Flames of War size base anyway. And then the other ones will just go on individual bases. I might get back to those later on. You're working on your 8th Army tanks. They look good, those, Andy, so far. Good work on them. I quite like them. It's a theatre of the war that has never really turned my head, to be honest, the Desert War. I use a lot of the 8th Army stuff for Malaya. My mate Dean's into it, so we played a few games in Rapid Fire. We played. We were starting Operation Compass, the early moves by the British. We got through a couple of scenarios, but that was about as far as we got. Carl's working on the same cavalry for Blood and Plunder as was last week. You think not much painting mojo at the moment? He'll come back. Well, it's a bloody struggle to not sweat, trying to get them to accept that seaweed-derived material is not an animal byproduct. You're also struggling with painting mojo at the moment. Don't push it. I think is the thing to do. It'll come back. It's not a contest. At the end of the day, it's meant to be a hobby. If you're not enjoying it, don't do it. I think that's the bottom line, really, isn't it? John Clarkey, evening. Clipping plastic card to base some tanks in the approved SOS manner. Excellent. 15mm Soviet to German and Soviets. What a tanker campaign. Great stuff. Hopefully some 20mm Germans on the table tonight. Okay, excellent. Yes, with contrast paints. Yeah, that's what I probably would have painted skeletons with. You just painted up another brigade of Union ACW. You're going to attempt to continue some Bavarians for sharp practice. Good stuff. Again, a great mix of lots of different things going on. It's always good. Evening, Kev. Long time no see. Not painting, but I have been this afternoon making up some terrain piece and a 28mm German field kitchen that you had for Christmas. Excellent. The goulash cannon. Everybody needs a goulash cannon. Right, so I've got this Patrick Miniatures house. Actually, I'm going to start on this, I think, because this is a bit of an easier thing to do than concentrating on teeny tiny fellas. I'm still just blocking the colours in at the moment. It's not going to before I start doing any detailing or anything really. So hit that like button if you haven't already. It all helps the algorithms. The new plastics at Carl Burke's, or the metals. I've got some metal ones you need to paint up. So yeah, if you are out there in viewer land, give us a shout. Don't remain quiet. I know there's always lurkers. Just say hello. Away in half an hour or so, got Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay campaign playing out at the moment, which I'm really enjoying. Any love for roleplay here? I used to love Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. I used to play a lot of it when we were kids. I say kids, teenagers. Something Rotten in Kislev and all that stuff. And Death on the Reich, or the Reek. I liked it. I always preferred Warhammer. Here's a revelation for you. I always preferred Warhammer, the Warhammer world, to the Dungeons and Dragons world. And I still do. I always felt as though Warhammer was a bit more lived in. I was talking to my mate about it. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we were talking about D&D, and a D&D party always feels a little bit like, he described it as the Spice Girls. A little bit of everything. And I think that's right, but whereas Warhammer, it just felt as though everybody was in shitty leather armour, or at best, or leather jerkins. Everybody was grubby. And because it was based on like 15th century Europe, it just felt like you knew it better. You know, like a paladin walking around in loads and loads of armour, and you know, hanging out with like a thief, you know, practically just got a cloak. It just didn't seem right. That's for me anyway. Yeah, cheers James, don't forget to smash the like button for 7 years, good luck. Old Metals, nice posers, unit of 8, looking forward to getting on the table. 8's too much, Lethal Metal, look forward to seeing them. Yeah, are there any other fans of the old Warhammer Fantasy Battle? Yeah, always just, like I say, just felt like a lived-in world, which I guess is what you want from a role-playing game, really. So, in other news, I've been reading Xenos Rampant over the last couple of days, since I got it on Sunday at Vapn Attack. You'll have played Warhammer Fantasy, yeah. Also, I think as well, it was just the maybe the mechanisms as well. Steve was because it's on a percentage chance dice, isn't it, rather than a D20 system. And I guess I like that because that's basically what the Judge Dredd role-playing game was as well. But the last time I played role-playing games was actually about a year or so ago. I played an online D&D game with hello Tiny, with Joe Bilton as the games master. And it was fun. It was good fun. Well, we got Tiny with us tonight. No do. Prefer Warhammer World 2, what the dear one had no real interest for me. Yeah, exactly. I just never gelled with me. I always describe it as a Renaissance fair, you know, an American Renaissance fair, where again it's a little bit of everything, and none of it doesn't really feel real. That's just kind of how I saw it. Each to their own then. Now then, Tiny. She's having some fun tonight, aren't you, love? She's obviously looking for a bit of attention. She knows the camera's on, that's why she's here. Just going to paint these down pipes. So I just want to kind of get some of this stuff like saying, you really loved all the crazy backgrounds, and you said starting with the next to nothing. Yeah. Star Wars Rampant game in the works, absolutely. I've actually got the table set up behind me, James. I'm going to try and excuse me, try and record a game of it over the next couple of days, or the next couple of evenings at least. I've just put together a couple of easy basic forces for the Rebels and for the Imperials. It works quite nicely. I think it'll be an interesting game, or fun at least. And that's all you can ask for. Where we at? Just got a box of the battle systems, looking great. I'm going to attempt unboxing review it. Good stuff. They're an Ace fair. My wife and her musical duo at a fair that's just started. 1 weekend down and 7 more to go. Blimey. Still not done about a new chair yet. Nope. Thumbs up for Tiny. That's it. Hit that like button for Tiny. If nothing else. Even if there's nothing else that's interesting you, hit that like button for the little cat. So I'm just concentrating because they're quite small bits. These downpipes. That's the main bit done. I said at the moment it's just really blocking in these colours. And no, you're right, Leslie. I do need a new chair. To be fair, I've had this one for about 15 years anyway, maybe more. And I don't know if you can see on the top of it, but Tiny's absolutely ragged it. Because she's a little shit. Was anybody over at Vamnatech this weekend? I know James was. I didn't see anybody else though, I don't think. It was very busy. Apparently they were saying on the Facebook group they had over 2,000 people through the door, and it's the busiest one they've ever had. It's quite surprising. It felt busy when we first arrived because the queue was massive, but that's just because the door, the entrance was backed up for some reason. Somebody had told me it was Ken Riley, the Yorkshire game, and he said it was all new staff, which is why they took ages to get in. Some of us, clever ones, sat in the car and waited. And all I bought was Xenos Rampant, which I was going to buy anyway, and I got some of the Chain of Command patrol markers from war bases. Where we at? Put some WD-40 on it. Yeah, I should do really. I've got some. It's a bit of a complex chair though, Kev. So I've got to find out where to put it. I will do. I'll do it after this stream because it's starting to annoy me as well. Where we at? Can you hear it? I noticed the chair the other night. Instantly seen that the cat had been clawing it. Yeah, exactly. He uses it as a scratching post. A little shit. That's what she's like. That's the problem with getting a new one. She'll just do the same to it. It'll be exactly the same within weeks. Who else we got? Good day from Land of Oz. Hey, good day, Duke Wellington. Again, this weekend we're playing a big Zulu game using house rules called Done in the Donga, or Ask a Guy That Did It, in 10mm. Literally 2,000 Zulus. Excellent. Planning on a bit of sci-fi year alongside the historicals. I sent Paul a copy of Space Weirdos. Need to give that a go, given Steve keeps banging on about it. Did not make it to VAP. Hope to get to Hammerhead next month though. Yes, I was supposed to have a game with Andrew, my mate Andrew Dystad, over on Twitter, and he'd suggested the 4th, and I looked in the diary, and the diary says Hammerhead is on the 4th. So unfortunately, I can't have a game with Andrew that day. But yes, Hammerhead's always a good one. You could name rules for the laddies indeed. Was really disappointed Warlord didn't have a new Hail Caesar book. Poor planning and turning up with a new release first big shop. Yeah, well, I thought John Stallard was there with his little table of Hail Caesar, or at least it looked like it. He looked a bit sad and despondent though when I walked past. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a brand new release. You would have thought they'd at least have a couple of copies of it. I mean, I'm not that bothered about Warlord stuff, so I didn't look at their stand. But I know you'd said it. But yeah, it seems a bit very strange. Maybe they're planning to release it at Hammerhead. The Brats and Bratlings were visiting Sunday, so you couldn't go. Nah. And you should be at Hammerhead as well, James. Just paint these wee little bits and pieces on this. Let's do this chimney stack. And cut in a couple of these colours. Right. What were we saying? Yeah, tiny table for it. I had the old copy on display. Oh, was it the old copy? All right. Saw the walkthrough video on the tables. Looked inspiring. Yeah, they were good. It was weird though, because it was a small show again, or at least from the games side of things. There was quite a lot of traders there, but I know a few had dropped out. I think at least 2 dropped out, according to their Facebook. And they but it just felt like there weren't that many participation games. All the ones that I filmed, and I know the ones that James filmed as well on his video, were check out James's video. It's a lot better than mine and longer. That was it basically. There wasn't a great deal. Good looking, but yeah, just not a huge man. Down the club, I'm playing again with Dean. Tony from PCP Group is open. Oh, okay, good stuff. Excellent. Good to see him. I'm playing again with Dean. What are you playing, James? I reckon you could probably join in with us if he wants to. It's Dean's zombie survival game that he's written specifically for me. So I'll be interested to see what's in it. Hit that like button, folks. Yeah, Martin did a page turner. Yes, I watched it. Or most of it at least. Even though I'm not particularly interested in the rules or the period. I just thought I'll have a look at it, see what's in there. From what he was saying, I don't know how much of it was different to the original. I think they just tidied some of it up, haven't they? But at least, yeah, you get to see it and nothing else. I mean, it's been released, but yeah, it's just strange, like James says, that it wasn't actually for sale at the show. Obviously, they figured it wasn't worth taking. But it was weird. It was a bit weird like that as well, because Sarissa were there, but we walked past them twice before realising it was actually Sarissa, because they didn't even have their sign up or anything. So that was a bit strange as well. Very strange. Cheers, Alex. Long years. Better probably now. Wanted to crack a Blood and Plunder. Fair enough. Some of those games look like last minute fillers from the video. You think you can recall? I don't know. Any in particular? There was 1 or 2 that were. What I was thinking about it afterwards. There was a couple, I think, like the large Terminator game, Space Hulk. Probably could have been better, but it was. They were downstairs underneath the mezzanine, and normally down there's a bloke. I think he's an oldish bloke who always brings a massive 18th century game, and when I say massive, I mean huge. It's always really long. It's always got massive ships on it. Nothing ever happens. It's just, it's like a static display, but it's always lovely to look at. And they always have like a little contest for the kids and stuff to spot 20 ducks or something like that. And it always looks beautiful. I'm fairly sure they probably play the game, but I can't remember who it is that did it. In the Grand Manor, perhaps. And they weren't there this time, and I hope I'm not talking out of turn here, but I seem to remember the guy being quite old last time he was there. So I wonder if something has happened and they've just, they've not been able to come. So it felt there was a lot of York Wargame Society games going on, which I wondered if they'd filled up spots where other people hadn't filled in. Games downstairs were too dark. It's always dark down there. Would have been better on the middle level. Same for those overlooking the West Coast where it was too bright. Yeah. Tidied up included the 100 Years War and War of the Roses, including the stuff Martin has been using for War of the Roses. Good TOC as well to find stuff. Oh, table of contents. Yeah, if you don't have contents or an index, get in the fucking sea. That's what I think. So yeah, normally I usually have a massive table down there. If you look at some of my older videos of Van Attack, you'll see what I mean. And that wasn't there. That had been replaced by the Predator game, which is very nice, very full of stuff, but it just wasn't the same. I don't know, it gets a bit samey when you see the same kind of games on each year, but at least it was a good display game. Yeah, it's always the lighting in there is always a bit. It's always pretty. It's either too bright or too dark. There doesn't seem to be much of a happy medium. It's very difficult to film it, especially on that mezzanine area. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to say hello to John Savage, who was doing What a Cowboy, because he was too busy talking. I'll see him again soon enough. Andy says, it was my first trip to VAMP and some of the space between the traders was cramped, particularly on the ground floor. Yeah, again, it is. It's somebody else had mentioned that, I think on my video. Jeremy Short had mentioned on that mezzanine level, it gets really crowded early on, but then after lunch it just completely thinned out. So it's worthwhile sticking around. Right, I can't put them off any longer. I've got to start these Romanians. That's what we're here for. I'm going to do their boots first because I've already got black started. Would you go again, Andy? Since that was your first experience. I mean, it's I hate to say it, but it has been better in the past. Because like I say, I know a couple of traders at least dropped out. But there's but yeah, I mean, there's obviously demand for it. As somebody made a comment as well on my video about something to do with Fallout at the York Wargame Society, so I wonder if that might be something to do with the amount of games on show as well. And then with Ken saying that there was a whole new crew of people. Here, I'm just speculating at this point. I've got no idea. I just wonder how many factors there are at play that we don't know about. Unless we are actually in the clubs themselves. A lot of the games were also stuff that had been in years show, not last year's, not that they weren't good, just from the Charles's Imjin, as good as it is, I've seen it about 8 times now. I know what you mean, but you kind of get that with the show, with the shows, because they'll make a game or a game board and then they'll take it around to several shows. So you do see sometimes the stuff that was at Van Attack will turn up at Hammerhead, which will then turn up at Partisan, which will then turn up at XYZ. You know, there's been quite a lot. I guess it's just difficult. Piers from Battle Group was saying about how much it cost him to go to Salute and stuff. And it is just a personal cost as well, so it just makes you wonder how much, how often you do it and why do you do it. If you're just displaying a game, you're not getting anything for it. That said, I've signed up for the Steel Warriors on the 25th of March, if everybody's around, in Sheffield. Well, it's in Rotherham actually, because it's Magna. Come along, 25th of March, have a look at Steel wargaming-warriors.co.uk. I've signed up for it. I've got confirmation tonight from Andrew that I'm on the list. So come along and play some Through the Mud and the Blood. That's what I'll be doing. It'll be good to see some people there. It's a brand new show. So get yourselves down doing stuff. I'm just going to paint these. I'm currently painting Romanian platoon, as I said, because I've always liked to. Too expensive going to Salute, given travel and possible hotels to make the most of it. You can get down and back in a day. I do. But I also put my expenses through my business as well, because I make money off the video, so it's worth it. So it's about 80 quid return on a train from Sheffield. You get this 6 o'clock in the morning one. You'll get down there for about, you'll be into the XL by about 10 o'clock, and then it's just a couple of hours back. It's not a bad journey, straight down to King's Cross, and then you just get the tube and the light railway over to the XL centre. It's very well. I wouldn't drive down, never mind that. I wouldn't pay for a hotel though. But the Traders shows are fairly expensive. Martin PP does not go. Yeah, he used to go actually, didn't he? Peter Pig used to be. But yeah, I mean from Devon to York is quite a lot. COVID's got a lot of people used to this web to shop. Yes, there's that as well. I think it's still recovering from COVID actually. I think that's the thing. It's like the model railway scene in the north, or at least as I could remember. A bunch of shoes with the same layouts being shown in all of them. Bunch of shows, I'm assuming that's it, not shoes. I wonder if they wanted the website jazzing up for the Steel Warriors. We'll talk to Andrew. I'm sure he'll be happy for that. Is the Magna show new triples? Evening, Charles. Cheerio, James. Is it new triples? In a way, it's being done by some of the people I think who were involved in triples over the years. It's some of the guys from the Sheffield Wargames Club, not the Sheffield and Rotherham Wargames Club, but the Sheffield Wargames Club, and they were the ones that ran triples. I don't know who was involved with triples then, but I don't know who is now. I was asking Andrew about it last week, and he was saying there'd been a lot of interest, but a few sign-ups at the moment for putting games on, but it's still a couple of months off. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I'll give it a support. It's the first one. You always expect the first one to be a bit small anyway, don't you, really? These things have to take off, don't they, really? Because I remember Vapnatech when it was back in the Merchant Adventures Hall in York. Don't think it was the first one, but it was one of the first ones I went to, and that was tiny, and it only had the guys really from the York club there, which I suppose has gone full circle because it felt like it was only guys from the York club this year as well. No, I'm joking. You're waiting on the CrackCon announcement to see if I can combine a trip with my folks in Brid. Oh, that'd be great, John, actually, see if we could see you. Yeah, I'm waiting for CrackCon 4 as well. Yeah, it'd be nice to actually meet up with you, John, see you face to face and say hello. So it's a good reason as well to be in the country, I guess. Very good fun. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get through all of these tonight, but I'm going to try to crack on with as much as I can. Depending on the size of the group putting on the game, the amount of work to set the table, building models and painting things is a very major undertaking. Yeah, exactly. Especially our family work. Yeah, sometimes 8 hour flight each way. You'll probably be the furthest who's come then, John. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's always a massive undertaking, isn't it? Doing anything. I've got a bit of an idea for a project to do for my table for the Magna show. I'm just waiting for the materials to come through at the moment. Whether it'll actually happen or not is a different matter, because I might just make an absolute balls up of it. Hoping to make a CrackCon 4 of an actual bit of gaming on Sunday, not just enough on one day. That'd be a good idea, especially since everybody's staying over. You could probably just hire out boards and swords anyway, couldn't you? I don't know if it's open on a Sunday. Just continue the gaming. Evening, Benjamin. Good to have you on board. That's the problem with one day. Yes. But as I say, it is a game shop, so you can you should be able to get in there, I would have thought. Sorry, I've gone quiet just while I'm concentrating on painting the flesh on these little fellas. That's an interesting question to the group. Who does run games at conventions here? I run at shows in Orlando, which I run twice. By the time the big games finish on the Saturday, there's not really enough time for the smaller ones, which are waiting most of the morning for play. Yeah, that's kind of the problem as well, I think. A lot of people want to be involved in the big games, don't they? I've run games at Lardy Games today, John. I did Algernon Pulls It Off at Steel Lard. And, no, sorry, at Lard Workshop. I also did Through the Mud and Blood at Steel Lard. And, yeah, that's been it so far. I really enjoyed it. It's bloody knackering now. But they're a bit different because you're definitely in the zone all the way. What am I working on? These are 15mm, not Russians, Romanians. Close. I might have to put on Blood and Plunder at Steel Warriors if they're struggling for games. Yeah, just send it in, James. It'd be. I think they'll appreciate it. Talk to Andrew on Thursday. You know which one he is, don't you? He's the youngish lad with long hair. I'm fairly sure you've played in games with him. But yeah, they'll be. I think they'll be happy to have people helping out. You can always just put it on anyway. James ECW was finished in a very short time, and that was a big game. Well, I guess that's the risk you take, innit? Yeah, I had at the last one because first and last CrackCons I had. Oh yeah, of course I put on games at CrackCon as well. I put O Group on at both, and both of those games lasted all day, as I thought they might do anyway. Because it's a way to because you've got to explain the rules to people. It always takes a while. Oh nice! I just got 10 50mm Hetzers. Excellent. I've got a load of Hetzers. I've got some Hungarian Hetzers as well as some German ones. I love them. It's a very knackering experience, it is, isn't it? It really makes your brain hurt. With a small battery-operated speakers and headset mics, to save our voice. That's a really good idea. Last time was too bad, as ECW was a bloodbath. I just set it up again and go. We, 6 of us, have invited ourselves to an 120 table 40k iOS tournament next month to set up tables of Tribal action, hopefully expand the gaming scene. Oh, that's a good idea. There was just... I know it wasn't Sweden, it's Norway next door practically. There was the Lardy Day just this weekend. The first Lardy Day in Norway. That looked like it was reasonably well attended. But yeah, anything like that, just getting people interested in other games is always a good way, isn't it? You run con games, Eric. I might run a 15mm Russo-Polish 1920 war on the next con. Excellent. Interesting little conflict. Right, we've got 23 viewers, 15 likes. Hit that like button, folks. If you've already hit it again, unlike it, then like it again. Or you could even just unlike it. Whatever, just hit that like button. Make my night. They're quite nice and easy to paint, these Romanians. I'd forgotten. I'm just using English uniform for their base coat, for the base uniforms. Reflective green for the helmets. I think I'll do a painting video of the last section when I get to that. And then it's green grey for the leather equipment. Sorry, for the cloth equipment, and then saddle brown for the leather equipment, and that's pretty much it. Dead easy. there we go, reflective green. And these are the Battlefront ones, which I think they're probably re-released for the for their bag ration sets. Trying to set up a 28mm Dark Age con game for a local event in the autumn. Okay. They're going to run Starship Troopers at Recon in Orlando in April. Frantically painting also added an old group to game to that. Excellent. Spread the love. Spread the love of the AO group. You're allowed to say it as well. I won't sue you. So there's quite a lot of small detail on these, so I just want to get some of the big block stuff done and I can finish the rest of it off tomorrow. And dead easy. Well, what rules are you using for Starship Troopers, John? I know you posted it in the Facebook group. I can't remember what rules you said you were using. Is it a specific set for Starship Troopers, or is it something like Xenos Rampant? Which would work perfectly well, from what I read. Here we go. Plenty of time, Alex. 11 o'clock is way off. Yeah, but Louis, I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning, so I'm pretty tired. I don't think I'll last till 11. If I'd slept better last night, I probably could just work my way through these and get them finished. You're always adamant that I stay up late. Some of us have got work in the morning. You'd never be able to put on a Starship Troopers game because it would cost me a fortune in buying flags and giant advertising banners spreading virtues of service. It's a great film, isn't it? I love Paul Verhoeven. I need to watch it again. It's been too long. I like the bit where the kids are stamping on the bugs. It says they're doing their bit. Are you? Starship Troopers use the Mongoose rules from when they published the game in 2004. Okay, same as the Jewish Dread rules. They were Mongoose as well, weren't they? I found my old copy of them kicking about. I think they were free originally. It's before Warlord took it over. Then released a load of figures. Then decided they didn't like them, so they released a load of other figures and then just stopped releasing figures. Which is a shame. One of the great lost games. Good stuff. So who else is out there tonight? Go on, there's 23 people. This is a quiet chat for 23 people. Looks forward to some of the shots of it. Came across the Mongoose Starship Troopers box set in your loft. Unfortunately, it only had the bugs and the troopers in it, but all still sealed, and not the troopers in it. Okay. You get all that stuff 3D printed, can't you? Anyway, these days, you know, there's thousands of people doing those kind of weird bits and pieces. My old painting group from high school meet up once or twice a year for a weekend of painting. Starship Troopers is the only movie that must be watched during our weekend. Excellent. Traditions like that are always good. Yeah, I might hire it on the. I don't think it's on Netflix. If it is, I would have watched it by now. I'll have to have a look, see if I can hire it on my my Virgin package. Stick it on eBay. The games goes for silly money these days. Yeah, stick it on eBay and buy a load of 3D prints. There you go. That's a money-saving tip brought to you by moneysupermarket.com. or stormofsteelsupermarket.com. Right, I'm going to paint the bases on these, and then it's just lots of small details. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the bases, get those bits out of the way, and then I'll turn my attention back to this building for a little while. I think he must have built the troopers, but never got around to the rest of the box. 3D printer Starship Troopers, Xenos Rampart, Sensor Project. There you go. Yeah, there'll definitely be the figures out there, and the bugs will be easy enough to paint. I would have thought, just do them in contrast. You don't have to do a great deal if you've got loads of them anyway. It doesn't matter, does it? There was a computer game that was released sometime last year, Starship Troopers, real-time strategy game. I got the demo version of it. It was alright. It was felt a bit like some of those old ones from the 90s though, where you were just walking around and then bugs would appear. I didn't actually pay the thing. Battle of LA is a good movie to watch. Good scenario for a game too. Yeah, I'll take your word for that, Louis baby. I don't think I've seen it, but what I saw of the trailer didn't inspire me with confidence. PC game that came out is good, slightly short but great fun. Yeah, that's the one that I had the demo of it. I think there was only like 3 levels or something in the demo version. Don't know how many there is in the full version. Who knows? First time catching a live chat since last summer. Good to have you on board, Colin. It's also the first week of hobby that I've had since then. Blimey. I'm painting some 28mm footsore Welsh, and you love them. Good. Glad to have you on board, Colin, and also good that you're getting some painting time in as well. It's always good, especially if it's been about 6 months since your last time. Are they for any particular game, or are you just painting them because you like them? Which is equally acceptable. Ordered 20 specially made museum level Viking dice for your 1066 projects. They arrived yesterday. Turned out I'd ordered D3 instead of D6. Oh dear. Oops. Contrast and gloss varnish should make a fast bug painting. Yes, exactly. Dead easy stuff. It's like if you're painting Gene Stealers in Space Hulk, isn't it? Purple contrast paint over, I don't know, white or bone or something, and you're done. Well, like, they've got a purple skin, haven't they, and blue carapaces. But yeah, dead easy. And it'll probably look quite good as well. Minimum effort, maximum output. That's what I like. You've got to roll them in pairs. Yeah, roll one first. If it's 1, add 1. If it's 3, minus 1. No, I don't know how that works. Maths is not my strong point. But it will give you a bell curve though, actually, if you roll them in pairs. Your chance of getting 6 will be 1 in 36, not 1 in 6. But that's an interesting thing. I do like pimping games. I'm not so keen on special dice. Welsh for Baron's War. Aha! It can create a good narrative. That's always what you want from a game, really, or at least that's what I want from a game, a nice narrative. Winning or losing is secondary, as long as the game was fun. But yeah, I like some pimped dice. Not pimped dice, sorry. I like some pimped tokens and things. Dice I'm not so fussed about, because they always, when people have got engraved dice, you never know if it's a 6 or a 1. That's the picture. Welsh are good for Baron's War. Game can create. Oh, sorry, I've already said that. Already spotted that one. Right, that's that one done. Last one. And like I said, what I'm going to do with that is I'll turn my attention back to this this building and just do some blocking of the colours where they've spilled and stuff. Do a bit of dry brushing on some bits and pieces as well. That'll probably do me for tonight, I think. So I sound a bit tired. I might even have an early night. Because they just now need the details done. I don't want to sit here and do details, because I'll just sit here in silence and you lot won't be particularly interested in that, I wouldn't think. So I'll leave them to dry. But this is my second section of the platoon. They have 4 sections. Each section is made up of an LMG team with 5 men, and a rifle team with 5 men, and then a corporal. Do I have much in the way of buildings? I've got millions of them. I've got boxes full of them over there, Louis. And also Adam Benkinson from Sweden sent me a load of his Kickstarter Normandy buildings, and I've got a huge box of those, including a church, which I'm fearful of even starting to do. But yeah, I've got tons of buildings. I've got loads of Stalingrad buildings. I've got loads of brick built houses, cottages and things. I've got a ton of science fiction ones for Jewish Dread and for Star Wars. I've got a load of jungle ones for Malaya. I've got a load of rural ones for Russia, the Eastern Front. Loads and loads of scenery, because you have to have it. And I like scenery. I like painting it. The church looks bloody good. Yes, it does. It's frighteningly good. Good man must have a few buildings for any table in my plate. Absolutely, I agree. And I've got tons of the things. Huge amounts of them. Because I've got a load of 3D printed ones and a load of MDF ones. I was thinking just the other day, I've got a load of the old JR miniatures, Stalingrad ruins, and I was thinking about, I might even, I don't know, I was thinking about maybe giving those up and getting some new ones in, some 3D printed ones or something, because I'm fairly sure you can probably get way better buildings than those are. They're all the old resin cast ones, and they're a bit ugly. So I was just thinking, I don't know if that might be just be a bit of madness on my part. Got some of the commission figurines ones as well. Mistake, don't do it. Well, I got rid of a load of other stuff recently. Change now to paint some 10mm Zulus. Ooh, trying some contrast. I'm going to say your tables have inspired what I want my own group table to look like. Oh, good, thank you, John. I was inspired by going to Lardy Days, to be honest. That's where my interest in scenery and terrain has come from. Just because it's about immersion. I used to play on tables that just look like rubbish. You spend all this time painting figures up, and then I despair down the club because they all just play on bottle green tables. It's just put a cloth down. Just looks better, a million times better. You've got all these lovely painted figures. It takes 5 minutes. It's one of those occasions that regret soon set in. I don't know. I don't think it would anymore. It used to. These days, I don't think it would. I'm not that bothered. The thing is, I've not used them for a long time. And as I say, when I do get them out, I look at them and I just think, oh, these could be better. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. You've got fields to make, indeed. Yeah, I just think it was, you know, I'd like just to upgrade it a bit. It's a new project, and I could sell the old ones, and that would fund the new ones. I mean, I've not looked into it in any depth. It was just kind of a passing thought the other day. You really want to build a World War II board with everything in black and white, and then have one small film crew in the corner, part of the table with them in colour. Or mini paints. It's a good idea. Somebody was talking about it on Twitter. I don't think it was earlier today or yesterday. Talking about, you know, how a table would look in black and white. I'd be surprised if nobody's done it. I don't think I've seen it, but I'm fairly sure somebody's done it. I probably have seen it, I just can't remember. Yeah, I'm fairly sure somebody will have done something similar at some point. It will look great. Great idea. Now it's lager o'clock. Best time of the night, eh? I also ran out of spray varnish as well today, which has annoyed me because I didn't realise I was running out of it, so I'm going to have to get some more of that this week. Actually, I'll buy that after this. It's reminded me. Come on, folks! You've still not matched the likes to the viewers yet. Hit that little like button. Make me happy. You could wear those filmmakers' fire plantaloons. Yeah, the ones that are flared on the hip. This is one of the Patrick Miniatures 3D models I bought from him ages ago. Got loads of them. I'm slowly working my way through them. I've still got the Sabotage ones that I bought ages ago as well to finish. And also the ones I got from Paint and Glue a long time ago. And we'll get them finished at some point. Leave it to one side. That's looping me back to the Shall Not Grow Old again recently. Change made from battle white to colour. Yeah, it was really good, wasn't it? It was breathtaking, in fact. Does Glenlivet count as lager concentrate? Yes, I think it does. I think you're alright, you're safe for that. Don't worry. You'll find no judgment here. Or not much anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna paint these brown bits, and then I think that's probably me done, to be honest. When I was younger, I used to look at a lot of black and white photos and paint your models, kits, wargaming figures, black and white. It's easy to research, at least, isn't it? You never get the colours wrong in black and white. On the subject of buildings, I did see the foreground buildings are back. I don't know, I've not seen them. I think that'll make a lot of people happy if they are. I believe that the game was at Joy of 6 few years ago, where somebody painted everything black because the battle was at night. One side had their backs dry brushed white to simulate the moon. Brilliant. Foreground or back? Everybody scrambles to find the foreground website now. There you go, that's how you upset a bunch of wargamers, John. Right. Is there anything on that? I was going to dry brush the brickwork, but I'm not going to because I'm still waiting for that brown to dry on that. And I think can't see them sitting about in some garage. Somebody's about to pick them up. Anyone know why they folded? No idea. Probably just, I think COVID did for them, didn't they? The feeling, I think it was something to do with that. Right, I think, folks, we're just coming up on an hour, so I'm going to leave it at that for tonight, I think, to be perfectly honest. I've got quite a lot done there. I've broken the back of those Romanians. I need to up that building. I think I'm quite happy with progress as it is. Someone took over 40 Rangers, 4G's Rangers, okay. Right, folks, so I will say good night on that. Thanks for joining me. It's been fun. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. I would have probably gone on a bit further if I'd not been so knackered tonight, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I think the Modelling for Advantage lads are doing a stream or something tonight. If they are, pop over there, say hello. Good invade their stream. And thanks once again for watching, everybody, and I shall see you in the next Storm and Steel video. And have a cracking one. Good night.